Why do you have to be so horrid, Henry?
Have you ever read the Horrid Henry books or seen the TV show? If you have, you know that Henry is always getting into trouble, but does that mean he's evil? Today we're diving into who Henry is, what he does, how people see him, and what we can learn from his story. If you've never heard of Horrid Henry, here's a quick intro. He's the main character in a super popular kids book series written by Francesca Simon. The first book came out in the 1990s, and since then, millions of copies have been sold around the world. The books even turned into a fun TV show. Henry is the kind of kid who always seems to be causing trouble, like creating pranks and causing chaos, but that's also what makes him so fun to watch. His wild ways are what make him stand out. The stories are popular because they feel real. A lot of kids see themselves in Henry. The books focus on a few big themes like family, where Henry often argues with his mom, dad, and his perfect brother, Peter, hanging with friends like his buddy Ralph, and clashing with his enemies like Margaret. And of course, there's all the usual kid stuff like school, homework, and chores. Kids love Horrid Henry because it's funny and it feels like real life, even when Henry is acting totally crazy. Sometimes Henry does things that seem really mean. For example, in Horrid Henry and the Secret Club, he sabotages his brother, Perfect Peter's attempt to join his club. Henry tricks Peter into completing a series of humiliating tasks, like eating gross food concoctions. This showcases Henry's delight in tormenting others for fun. But Henry isn't always bad. He has moments where he shows he cares, like in the episode Horrid Henry, Nothing But the Truth. He takes the blame for something his little brother did.
Out. I did that.
I tried to catch it. Really, I did.
I know, but I made it fall off because I was getting so cross and now it's smashed to smithereens.
Come on, Worm. It's not the end of the world.
Oh, but it is. Mum will be so cross with me, she'll never speak to me again. She'll banish me from the house, never to darken her door again.
No, she won't.
Oh, she will. She will.
No, she won't, because I'll tell her I broke it.
You do that for me?
Yeah, of course.
You really do that for me?
Look at it this way, Worm. Who am I going to call Smelly Nappy Baby if you're not around?
Thank you, Henry.
That was actually a kind thing to do. So even though Henry acts badly a lot of the time, he also has a good side. He's not just a horrid kid, he's more complicated, and that's what makes him such an interesting character. Now, let's take a closer look at some moments where people might see Henry as a villain. In the episode Horrid Henry's Time Capsule, Henry is playing with his slime during breakfast, but when his mom sees it, she says slime is banned from school. Henry wanted to bring it for a class time capsule project, so he gets really mad. He yells no and storms off. On his way out, he trips over Perfect Peter's stuffed animal, Bunny. That's when he gets a sneaky idea. He decides to take Bunny to school instead. At school, Miss Battleaxe tells the kids to bring out their items for the time capsule. Henry doesn't know what to do, but then he quickly throws Bunny in. Later, when it starts raining, Mr. Soggington buries the capsule by himself. After school, Peter is super upset because Bunny is gone. Their mom and dad think Henry had something to do with it. Dad even says Henry won't get any pocket money until Bunny is found. So Henry gets his friends Ralph, Al, and Bert to help him dig up the capsule that evening. But when they finally find it, all the boxes are empty. His friends get mad and leave him behind.
We're gonna be rich! I'm gonna buy every chocolate bar in the world! I want my own gym.
Hey, Bert, found anything?
I don't know. Henry! There's something down here. I'm gonna buy a yacht too. It's one of these time capsules.
Huh? There's nothing in it.
No treasure?
No, nothing.
Come on, let's keep digging. I bet there never was any treasure.
How come these are all empty?
I don't know. I'm going home Thanks for nothing, Henry.
The next day, Henry has a new idea. He tells the class they should make a new time capsule to catch the person who stole the items. He even puts his slime in it, and the teacher gives him a gold star. That night, Henry catches Miss Ibod sneaking around. She's been taking the capsule items and keeping them in her attic as souvenirs. Henry finds Bunny and keeps her secret. The next day, he gives Bunny back to Peter, but then Mom says someone found Henry's slime in the school garden, which got wrecked. Even though Henry didn't do it, he gets blamed and loses his pocket money. He screams in frustration. Now let's talk about what Henry did wrong. Taking Peter's favorite toy, Bunny, and burying it in the capsule. That wasn't just a joke. Henry knew Bunny meant a lot to Peter. He took it because he was mad about the slime ban. He didn't care that Peter was heartbroken. He also lied to his parents and got his friends to help dig up the garden, which made a huge mess. All of that just to avoid getting in trouble. It was selfish, sneaky, and pretty mean. In the episode Horrid Henry and the birthday present, Perfect Peter is busy making a special needlepoint gift for Mom's birthday, but Henry totally forgot about the gift. He lies and says he has a plan. Dad tells him he has to go shopping with Aunt Ruby and his snobby cousin, Steve. He gives Henry money, but only to spend on Mom's present. Henry is not happy. He follows Ruby and Steve through the mall, feeling super annoyed. First, Ruby embarrasses him in the underwear aisle. Then, in the perfume section, Henry coughs after smelling a strong spray. Things get worse when Moody Margaret and Sour Susan show up and call him names like Bogey Brain. Henry snaps back, and Ruby scolds him.
Bogey brain. Yeah, bogey brain.
What's wrong now, Henry?
I don't know. I thought that dummy was talking to me.
You're the only dummy who's walking around here, Henry.
Henry, you have been warned. I can't trust you to keep up, so hold my hand, please.
Steve keeps bragging about the expensive necklace he's getting for his own mom, and it really annoys Henry. Then Henry sees some toy goo blasters in the store. Steve shoots goo at him first, so Henry grabs a triple trouble blaster, and soon they're having a full-on goo fight in the mall. He starts a goo gun fight with Steve right in the toy store. He's angry and jealous because Steve keeps teasing him and showing off. Henry grabs a goo blaster and starts shooting. They hide behind shelves, blast goo everywhere, and knock over teddy bears and displays. It's a huge mess. Henry doesn't care that he's ruining the store or that he's embarrassing Aunt Ruby. He just wants to win and feel in control. That kind of behavior is something you'd expect from a cartoon villain, causing trouble just for the fun of it. Then, Henry hides in the store's security room and uses the intercom to tease Steve and Margaret. While watching the cameras, he sees someone stealing a necklace. Quick as lightning, Henry grabs a goo gun and shoots the thief right on target.
Henry?
The store gives him a brand new triple trouble blaster as a reward. The goo fight was pretty bad. He made a huge mess and let his anger take over. But he's not a real bad guy. He's just a kid who makes mistakes. Steve's bragging and all the pressure at the mall pushed him too far. But in the end, he did the right thing by stopping the thief. In the episode Horrid Henry and the Bogey Babysitter, Henry and Perfect Peter are eating spaghetti while Mom and Dad try to find someone to babysit them. Henry's excited when it seems like no one can come. He's scared off babysitters before, like Krabby Chris, but then Dad books someone new, Rabbit Rebecca. Henry freaks out and begs them not to leave. Rebecca shows up and she's strict, mean, and a little scary. She tells the boys they need to behave. She takes over the TV, switches Henry's Mutant Max show to boring ballroom dancing, and even throws out Peter's popcorn. Henry tries to fight back by dancing in front of the TV, but Rebecca gets mad and sends both boys to bed early. Henry tries everything to stop her, juice squirters, skateboards, even flooding the bathroom, but Rebecca is always one step ahead. Out of ideas, Henry calls the police and lies, saying she's a stranger in the house, but they don't believe him. Later, while hiding with Peter, Henry finds out Rebecca is scared of spiders. He sets a trap to scare her.
Why aren't you in bed? Spider. Wah!
huge, really hairy and horrible and wriggly and...
Get rid of them!
If I risk my life and get rid of the spiders, can I watch Mutant Max?
Yes,
And stay up till my parents come home?
yes,
And eat all the ice cream in the fridge?
yes. Just get rid of that thing.
Deal!
Rebecca gets so scared that she agrees to let them stay up late, watch TV, and eat ice cream. But when she breaks the deal, Henry rolls a jar of spiders toward her. She screams and runs into the cupboard under the stairs, and Henry locks her in. Henry and Peter enjoy Mutant Max and snacks until Mom and Dad come home. They see Rebecca running out of the cupboard. Then Henry shoves Peter inside and smiles. Here is what Henry did wrong. He locked Rebecca in the cupboard by scaring her with spiders. She had promised to let them watch TV and eat ice cream, but then she broke the deal. So Henry used her fear to trick her. He slid a jar of spiders toward her, and she got so scared that she ran into the cupboard. Then Henry shut the door and trapped her inside. Henry knew she was afraid and used it to take control. It was a clever but cruel move. Locking Rebecca up was definitely wrong. It shows he can be sneaky and go too far when he's angry. Still, he's just a kid dealing with a super strict babysitter who treated him unfairly. His trick started as a way to stand up for himself, and he even worked with Peter, something he doesn't always do. When Rebecca broke their deal, Henry snapped, and even though what he did was bad, he didn't get away with it completely. His parents showed up just as she escaped.
Right, you little worm, I'm going to take you apart limb by limb.
Henry?
I was just leaving.
Oh, you poor things.
Oh, what a mess. Well, we certainly won't be having her to babysit again.
We make a pretty good team, don't we?
Not in my lifetime.
In the episode Horrid Henry Goes to Work, Henry causes all kinds of trouble at Dad's toothbrush company. So let's look at his worst moment to see if he's really a bad guy. It all starts when Henry mocks Perfect Peter, telling him no one wants him, and then smashes a tea set in the kitchen. Dad gets mad and decides to take Henry to work with him, while Peter goes with Mom. Henry's annoyed because he thinks the toothbrush company is boring, so he yells and says he doesn't want to go. At the office, he accidentally presses the emergency buttons in the elevator, which causes firefighters to break a hole in the wall, hurting Bob, Dad's boss.
Henry, not that one! Oh! This is not a good start, Henry. Nowhere near good. You've already been horrid and we're not even at my desk yet.
But Dad, we're being cut out by firefighters. This is great.
An office is a place where people come to work, not to muck about. I want perfect behaviour. My boss is very strict, so don't let me down, eh?
Dad, you can count on me.
Oh! Ow!
Bob thinks Henry's funny, but Bill, Bob's son, is bossy and orders Henry to make tea. Henry's revenge is adding mustard and ketchup to it. The staff hate it, and Bill blames Henry. Dad doesn't believe Henry's side of the story. Then, in the toothpaste department, Bill speeds up the machine and makes a mess. He squirts toothpaste at Henry, and Henry fights back, burying Bill under a pile of toothpaste tubes. Bill tattles, and Dad gets mad, but Bob gives Henry one last chance. He has to help Bill with the photocopy machine. Now here's where Henry does something really sneaky. He gets back at Bill by setting him up. He tells Bill to photocopy something horrid and secretly aims the CCTV to catch Bill in the act. Bill does it and the staff laugh. Bob gets so mad, but when Bill tries to blame Henry, Henry flips it around. He says Bill told him to do it, but Bill didn't listen. Bill gets sent home as punishment, and Henry goes back to playing video games while Dad looks proud. Henry humiliated Bill on purpose, and it was all just to get back at him. In the episode Horrid Henry's Christmas, Henry's at Toy Heaven looking at a Boom Boom Basher and a Galactic Goose Shooter. He almost flattens Peter with the Basher, then tells Santa his wish list, while Peter asks for boring stuff like a dictionary. On Christmas Eve, Stuck-Up Steve and Rich Aunt Ruby show up and Henry gets jealous. Steve has cooler toys and Ruby only gives him socks. When Henry's told to tidy up, he makes a mess in the living room with a vacuum. Steve calls it a dump, and later Henry and Steve wreck Peter's ice sculptures, getting stuck in the snow.
That's not a snowman.
Yes, snowmen don't have wings. Now it looks more like a snowman.
Hey, he's my brother.
Oh, thanks, Henry.
So I get to break it.
Yours the biggest?
Mine's the biggest! Mine's the biggest!
Whoa! I'm trapped! I'm more trapped than you are.
No, I'm more trapped!
After decorating the tree, Peter talks about Christmas being about giving, but Henry and Steve just want the best gifts. At 10 p.m., Henry sneaks downstairs, swaps 2 present labels to steal the goose shooter, and glues Steve's pajamas to the bed. The next morning, Steve's pants rip as he races downstairs, humiliated, while Henry laughs. The presents are all messed up. Dad gets a fax machine, Mom gets a dress top, Ruby gets a flower box, and only Peter is happy. Peter blames Santa, and Henry plays along while secretly scoring the goose shooter. Henry's bad move here is swapping the present labels to steal the goose shooter and rigging Steve's pajamas for a big fall. It's sneaky and selfish and ruins everyone's Christmas.
Go! Yeah! Go, boom, boom, basher!
Go, go, go! Take that!
Don't be horrid, Henry!
Merry Christmas, everybody!
In the episode Horrid Henry's Haunted House, Henry's stuck at Rich Aunt Ruby and stuck up Steve's mansion while his parents are on vacation and Peter's at a sleepover. Henry's not happy. Steve never shares his cool toys. Flashbacks show Steve hogging Henry's stuff. And even though Mom and Dad tell him to be nice, Henry packs prank toys like a goose shooter and fake poo. Ruby takes them away and Steve locks Henry in the haunted attic, telling scary stories about a ghost who drowned in a well. At dinner, a storm knocks out the lights and Ruby's ghost story scares Henry. That night, spooky sounds from the wardrobe freak him out, but he finds out Steve made the noise with an audio recording. Henry vows to get revenge. The next morning, Steve's shocked that Henry isn't scared. They fight over a toy plane, and Henry uses the remote to fly it, pushing Steve toward the well and squirting him with goo, making him scream like the ghost. Later, Henry skips pudding, sneaks under Steve's bed, and growls to scare him, making Steve run away in fear. Henry laughs so much, he accidentally opens a secret door and ends up in Steve's room covered in cobwebs. He scares Steve and Ruby, making them think he's a monster. Henry happily plays with Steve's toys, laughing all the way. Henry's evil moment act is scaring Steve with the underbed prank. He hums and growls to make Steve think a monster is attacking him. It's all part of Henry's revenge for Steve's ghost prank and for hogging his toys. It's cruel and meant to humiliate Steve.
Dooby 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 doo.
Is somebody there? Mummy!
At first glance, Henry's rap sheet looks pretty villainous. He's deceitful, reckless, and thrives on chaos. Take the infamous bunny incident. Henry swipes his little brother Peter's prized stuffed toy. It's a cruel move that leaves Peter devastated. Actions like these make it easy to slap the villain label on him. Henry's not an evil mastermind. He's a kid, acting on impulse in a world that feels stacked against him. His strict parents lay down the law hard, and his perfect brother Peter, well, let's just say he's the golden child who makes Henry's rebellious street flair. Henry's mischievousness isn't about cruelty. It's his way of coping with school, family, and the everyday pressures of being a kid. Henry has a heart. He gets Bunny back for Peter, even if pocket money's part of the motive, and even has moments of begrudging kindness. These glimpses show he's not all bad, just a kid navigating a messy world. What sets Henry apart is his growth. Over the series, we see him learn from his mistakes. He messes up, sure, but he faces the music, whether it's losing his allowance or earning a timeout. We've all had selfish moments or made bad calls as kids. Henry's flaws mirror the real, raw emotions of childhood: anger, joy, frustration, and that's powerful. He's not here to be perfect, he's here to be real. So, why does Henry resonate with viewers and readers? His complexity invites kids to explore their own feelings. He's a safe space to wrestle with the messy stuff, jealousy, rebellion, even guilt, while showing that mistakes don't define you. That's not villain behavior. That's the mark of a flawed, compelling hero. Horrid Henry's no villain. He's a kid with a knack for trouble, a heart buried under the chaos, and a story that grows with him. He's naughty, sure, but he's also nice when it matters. A perfect reflection of what it means to be a kid. So, what do you think? Is Henry a villain or just misunderstood? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.